I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you. Well, you folks at home can see the evidence. Snow and supposedly a few inches yet to fall here at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5. Are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This one taken from the 7. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. It's the Mississippi State product at quarterback. Calling the shots will be Dak Prescott.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
A little bit of space there for the first down run as that's going to get him about 5 yards. 5 yards on the game's first play, 2nd down. And on this offensive unit, one guy that's proven himself early in the NFL is Eric Ebron.
A very reliable target for a quarterback. They always love tight ends because they're right in their sight lines. If you get it to this guy, though, he can take it the distance.
From the 29, Prescott. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. A first down throw for Prescott. He finds his man Johnson. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They'll look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Lions. They put together a strong effort last week in the win over the Bears, CD.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first. Prescott off play action. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. The Eagles send out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. At the end of the season, because you...
And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. A big man So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's a 2nd and 7. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Here we go. 60 outlaw. You ain't going nowhere.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. They knew they had the free play after the penalty. They get great yardage, so they can decline that penalty.
And one of the things we've seen develop more and more in recent years are teams seeing that penalty occur and still taking the big shot downfield and hoping to gain the yardage as we just saw there. They practice it, they work on it, and this time they're successful.
So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And that time the tackle by Malik Hooker. Time to peek at the defensive starters. Here they are for Philadelphia. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
An opportunity to get back to level after the fumble return touchdown. 1st and goal. And to give this time to the tailback. They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. Back to throw here. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit, as his guys are in for 6, as his guys are on the board here in this 1st quarter. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover him? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You're going to yell at me? You go cover him.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
On first down, Melvin gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. Open man, Arcega-Whiteside. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. On third down, Melvin. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. And that is incomplete here. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll drop the throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target. I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Throwing on 2nd down, Prescott. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the 1st quarter. These 2 teams all tied after 1. The Eagles send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And Detroit getting set to go now. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. He'll drop to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
This quarterback now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. He's going to fire this thing deep right. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 33 yards that time. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. He'll look to throw. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. Prescott now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. To throw is Prescott. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. And they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play. Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys. While we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore, I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Melvin, and they're able to bring him down at the 20. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Open man is Arcega-Whiteside. Now the ball comes loose. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. On on second down now. Melvin, and he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. The open man is Shark. It's complete.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This quarterback now, pretty remarkable. 14 of 15 through the air, only 1 incompletion. And another 1st and 10 here. He'll look to throw. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On play action, Prescott. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
They'll set up to throw. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. 2nd and long. His throw caught right around the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. So in the second quarter, he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Miles Boykin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel.
Detroit. Will Lutz lining up for the point after.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. So that drives 7 plays in length, and the end result, a Detroit touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. To throw again on second down, Prescott.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone up. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT.
Pick back all day. Don't throw this way.
At the 43-yard
We
line.
won. Come to my world.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. And an alley to run.
Hey, let's go.
So we have reached halftime. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Second and 1. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Alex Anzalone came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Looking to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. They'll set up a throw. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a first and 10 at the 43. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. They'll look to throw here. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he completes it to the tight end, Knox. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 13-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a first and 10. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll run on first down. Harding, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Prescott from the gun. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll have a first down past the 40. And finally taken down at the 15. It's a big play there for the Lions. 55 yards. So you got the lead here in the second half. Obviously, you love big runs like that at any time. Here you really like it.
And how about the confidence that's being exhibited by that offense now? They don't care what you're lining up doing on the defensive side. They want the big fella to carry the football and carry it often.
On first down, it's Green. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And, it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now Prescott. Open man, Higbee, the tight end. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. It's a first down following a gain of 3. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 30-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground. Harding. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by David Long. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line.
So it's 3rd and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they bring in an extra defensive back and just blanket the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
This is caught. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Back to throw. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. That's what we call...
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. The 30, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. He goes 102 yards from one end zone to the other, and the Eagles get a score closer.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking out some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
So he takes it from 2 yards deep all the way down the field into the other end zone. Add it all up, 102-yard return on the kickoff. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This will be fielded at the 6. Oh, what a move. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through. It's caught inside the 25. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A big play there for Detroit. 53 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches, and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Lutz good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Second and 5 now. Prescott. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready?
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Let's go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
The Lions on third down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This will be 3rd and 19. On third down, Melvin. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, He might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse. How's that?
8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
On 1st and 10, Prescott throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Tajay Sharp, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 14 yards there and an Eagle 1st down. They'll run on 1st down. Harding.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
3rd and short yardage. Prescott setting up the screen here. Aaron Jones. And he picks up the 1st before he's taken down at the 29. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. On 1st down, Harding. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Prescott, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Big stop, let's go. Sponge.
3rd and long for Prescott. Ebron caught left side. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
You ain't doing nothing today. Ready, go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Finding Knox there, complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain there of 21 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. Melvin only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 7 times and could use another right now. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
On the set.
Mike 52. Check tight. He's crossing. He's checking.
Go.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone. Here's 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
On 2nd down, Melvin. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
I know it looks easy to a lot of people when you're kicking the ball. I mean, it looks pretty simple, right? Snap, put it down, kick it. But playing in the snow, that can throw off your timing just a bit, and that can wreak havoc, as we just saw there.
Well, it throws off the timing, and I just think it's an extra advantage for the team that's coming in to block it because they've got a hold on the offensive side, and, of course, the kicker and holder and snapper, they've got a lot to deal with.
What can't be underestimated is the person catching the ball, the holder, and putting it down. You're talking about cold hands, snowy weather, ball can get slippery on you. It's a lot of extra pressure on that person.
And they're able to get it down, but a nice job to get in and block it. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Here's Prescott. And that will be incomplete.
Prescott's pass intended for Tajay Sharp. Incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Prescott to throw on 4th. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
All day. Man left.
3 down.
They'll run on 1st down. Melvin. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
Ready.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Oh, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Lions, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.